All right. Hey, everyone. This is the Cutting Through the Noise podcast, and I am Cassie, and I'm here with Michelle.
Hello.
Awesome. So Michelle works with us here at Pintler Group. Maybe you can tell us about what you do.
Yeah, of course. So my job title here at Pintler Group is the Paid Acquisition Specialist. So that basically is fancy words for me managing all of the paid campaigns that you see, whether it's via Google, obviously through the search campaigns, video campaigns, just anything you see when you search anything in Google, and also Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads, any kind of those things that you pop up where, when you're scrolling through your social media and it's like, hey, you should check out our product, scroll through, I'm the one who's in charge of helping.
When it says sponsored or something.
Sponsored posts.
Cool.
Yeah.
So earlier we were talking about how it's different whether you boost a post or sponsor it. Will you tell us the brief difference? I don't know. I guess, are there multiple different kinds?
There's different ways. I think sponsored still shows up for all of them.
Okay.
But for people who usually, there's a couple different ways that you can, boost these posts. They do have a Facebook button that literally from your Facebook business page, you can just click the boost page and it's supposed to help you, optimize whatever goal you're going for. So if you want more likes, more engagements, you choose that goal, and Facebook will automatically keep showing that as a sponsored post. That one, so I don't typically go that route where I select the boost post because sometimes it could add up more money than you are anticipating. So the way I like to do it is typically I'll just go in and I'll find posts on the Facebook page that have been posted organically by whoever runs the page and try to find one that I think it's really going to appeal to a different, either when I'm retargeting a same audience or if I want to try and reach new followers, I'll just try to find a good post that really encompasses what the brand organization does, and I like to go in and just create a whole new campaign for it in Facebook ads. So you just go in that way, and it's super easy, but then that way you can at least choose how you want to, how much money you want to put into it, what's your goal again, and then you can just kind of keep track of it better.
Yeah.
So I kind of like doing that way.
Okay. So is this something that you did before you started working at Pintler Group?
No, I'm completely new to.
Nice.
My background's in marketing, and then I just obviously did my master's in analytics.
Yeah.
But that was more focused working with raw data and stuff, which obviously you can pull that stuff from these platforms. But no, this is a realm that I haven't dived into professionally before, but I'm very much excited about it. It's fun. It's helpful.
So we both jumped in full time here at about the same time, not very long ago. So, and as you said, you didn't do this before. So what are some ways that you've been able to teach yourself sort of, or jump into a new skill set?
Yeah. Well, the internet.
Yeah, that works.
I was gonna say, do you feel the same on that? In terms of, I feel like a lot of, I have a general idea of things, and obviously I talk to my coworkers, and I talk to, networks that I have that are also in this industry.
Right.
Just kind of bounce ideas off of them, but just kind of get the ball rolling with an idea and then doing a lot of searching to try and find what I'm looking for.
Yeah. And I think something interesting about digital marketing is in other fields, it feels like you learn it kind of once and then you can master it. But sometimes in digital marketing, it's constantly changing. So even though we're new, I don't really feel like we're that far behind sometimes because so is everyone.
I would agree with that.
To the new rules and
Well, that's for me, that was one of the most appealing things about going into digital marketing is the fact that it is ever changing. And it's not, you're not sitting here day in, day out, 9 hours a day, just doing the same thing.
Right.
You might have something that's, consistent with your routine, but there's always a new challenge. There's always new avenues to explore.
Yeah, and even since we've started here at Pintler Group, there have been a bunch new rules and technologies and things that you can use to accomplish our jobs. Yeah, I think that's cool. So I guess I remember, Michelle, when you started, you spent a lot of time doing different things to learn about Google. Yeah, what was that like?
Well, since we were both started around a couple weeks before we graduated college, it was a little overwhelming. But to be honest, the Google ads and analytics platforms, it's easy to get overwhelmed in them. There's just so many different ways that you can go in and optimize campaigns and just the types of campaigns that you can run. So luckily, what Google has put together is the Google Ads Academy.
Yeah.
And it's a certification program that you can do completely free.
Mm-hmm.
And it just like walks you through all this stuff. It takes quite a bit of time, so sometimes you have to step away from your computer to take a break.
Yeah.
From staring at it. Very heavy. But...
Yeah, and talk about something that's always changing. I feel like Google, it's like, yeah, that's the definition of something that always changes.
Well, it's funny too because even Facebook, their ads manager, like they're almost like sneaky with their changes. Like they just put it like in a very small banner, and sometimes you just kind of dismiss it, and then you're like a month down the road, and you're like, wait, where was that one like function I was trying to do, and now I can no longer do it, or it changed. So
yeah, or they send you like a link to a 300-page like manual about the rules or something. You're like, awesome.
Yeah, you're starting to dive into that too, how some of the rules and restrictions of advertising.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's all for the good of, I don't know, the world.
Absolutely, yeah. Some of the policies that they're trying to tighten up on are for the good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think it is our responsibility too to be able to make sure that what we're putting out there is ethical and it's representative of the brand, and that you're not trying to deceive anyone.
Right. And I think in reality those are the campaigns that are most successful anyway, because people, I don't know, campaigns are successful if it's something people actually want or would use.
Or it's relevant and it's experiential. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, transparency's
key. What else have we done in our first couple months?
I guess, how are you feeling? Because what was your role when you were working part-time? Because you just made the switch into email automation. Yeah,
so when I was working part-time, I was focused more on our software as a service, which is GeoFly.
Yeah.
And I was doing kind of more sales and client success on that side. And then going full-time, I've added in a lot more marketing, focus on email marketing and some social media, and then obviously videos and podcasts and stuff. It's fun because I get to do a lot of different things, which is pretty exciting. I'm definitely learning a lot about email marketing. And if you've listened to our other podcasts and videos, you'll probably hear a lot about email marketing because it's been like a hot topic lately for some reason. But
it's a useful I can't even think. Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with it.
Yeah, and it's different than paid, I feel like, because you're reaching people that have like said they're interested explicitly, which it's also frustrating when then you get like a 5% open rate and it's like, you signed up for this.
Yeah, why don't you want to look at my email?
Yeah. So that's something I am surprised by in marketing a lot, is these like really low numbers that are actually good, but if you didn't know, you'd be like, man, I failed because I got 8% of people to click on this link. Right. Is that how you feel when looking at like ads and stuff? You like send it to an audience of 1 million people and then
very minimal return. Especially when you're doing like search campaigns and stuff like that. Like I think like conversion rates and stuff, or for like e-commerce, like you think you're reaching out all these people and it's like 3% of that population is 3% of the population that you're targeting, if they purchase, like that's a good conversion rate. And when you hear the words 3%, you're like, oh, that doesn't
sounds terrible,
seem like a good number at all.
Oh my gosh.
But
no kidding.
Yeah.
So when, I think we were talking about this earlier, like the price of different types of advertising, whether it's like Google search, I don't know, ads, or Facebook, or what that looks like. And what we were talking about is how social media, you might get, I don't know, a cost per click of like 30 cents, but then you go into Google and it's like $3 per click or something like that. Those are estimations, but and it can feel like the obvious answer to go with only social media. But what do you think about that?
I think when it comes to deciding which channel you want to go through, you really do have to just sit down and think about, again, who your audience is, how much you're willing to spend, and what are the overall goals that you're trying to achieve. Because with Facebook, it is nice when you are like getting all these leads maybe in or clicks and stuff, and it's at pennies, as opposed to Google where you're dropping like maybe $10 on cost per clicks and that kind of stuff, which adds up really fast. I don't know. It's interesting because both these channels have really good advantages to both. Google is like 70% of searches worldwide, so and it's also people that are like actively looking for things. So like that's where you're really making your money. It's like, these people are searching Google to find something. Maybe it's a product or a service.
Yeah.
And you're able to capture that audience.
Yeah, like at a different point in the marketing funnel, I think is what we were saying earlier.
Whereas like Facebook, it might more or less be you're just trying to get people to notice products or services that maybe they didn't think that they needed, but if you keep putting their eyes on it and it's relevant to them, then you might start getting purchases that way. Yeah, you
can get a lot more people to look at it in a quicker sense, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah, I mean, on both channels, it's awesome. I mean, it's probably we can do what you have been doing as well with email automation, but just the testing that you can do, I think is really like what it has been a very fun part of it, being like, all right, like maybe for my Facebook ads, I'm going to test the same audience, but I'm going to try, the same ad, but different imagery.
Right.
And seeing which performs better. And just
or
all these
different
things,
words or
different
whatever.
Words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also, something that I found working in this job with you is that email and paid can go well together.
Yep.
Which is so interesting. And it makes me realize how I'm being targeted personally on social media. Because I'm like, okay, so I went on their website and I saw this product. And now I'm seeing a million ads on Facebook and I just got a reminder email or, however that goes. And I think that's so powerful and definitely makes you more aware of the world. Yeah.
I know, it's funny. Even, when you get into this work, it's funnier when you do start seeing more of these things.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm someone who has ran these campaigns or I've actively built this kind of stuff and then now I'm a product of it.
Yeah, or what about, Michelle, when you see an ad that you are running yourself? You're like, I paid for that ad.
Yeah, that is funny.
I'm in the target audience,
Exactly, especially with like up top. I'm always like, oh, hey, I did that ad. Like, that's mine.
That's so weird. Yeah, I know. That's really funny. Could you give us like 3 tips for choosing your target audience when you're making an ad?
Oh, that's a good
If 3 or less.
All right, when I'm trying to choose my audience, well, I think what I really want to do is I always spend some time like actually researching who my client is, like what's the brand organization, and it's taking the time to talk to them too about because they've obviously been doing this for a while, like asking them, I'm like, can you identify your audience?
Yeah.
And then also finding out from them, like, well, all right, so here's maybe your main audience, but have you maybe considered branching off into a similar one?
Right, or people that you weren't expecting buying your product.
Yeah.
Right?
So really just, taking the time to get to know your client's audience and even just asking them for feedback is always helpful.
Yeah.
I always think of that. And then, I don't know, sometimes I just try to sit and imagine myself as a consumer of this product or service. And I'm just like, okay, if I was completely unaware of this organization, what would I be looking into? And then I maybe think about other demographics and stuff. And then, I think, and then a lot of times it's just kind of putting some words out. I mean, on the Facebook platform's got a really useful tool where, you can start targeting people based off of their interests and stuff or what their job title is or where they live and that kind of stuff. And
that's super helpful.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to just sit down and imagine yourself as a consumer and then start thinking about the characteristics that are assigned to it.
So let's say I wanted to test like 2 different audiences on Facebook. What do you think is a worthwhile time period or campaign to do that for? Like if I just ran a campaign for like 1 day for each audience, is that going to give me any information?
Not really. You're not going to get, it comes down to gathering enough data.
Okay.
So that can just depend. I feel like the standard for most people is 30 days, the month period. But sometimes if you have, like, if you put out these 2 test campaigns or this campaign with 2 test audiences and one just starts performing better than the other, you can honestly start doing like a week to week kind of a thing.
Right.
It really just depends on how much data you gather.
Yeah, and so that's kind of on the audience side, but then on the goal of the campaign, what are some examples of different goals people could have when they're advertising? Yeah. I mean, obviously it's sales, but what else?
Yeah, I mean, so obviously purchasing, number of purchases. It could be as simple as just trying to, like for Google search, just getting people to click on your keywords. Like you bid on these keywords that people are searching for, and if they click on your ad and it takes them to your client's website, like that could be a goal that you want. Like, I want to increase traffic to my website.
Totally.
There's also landing pages, how long people are spending on your websites.
Yeah.
And then, so backing up, landing pages are the pages that, when you click on an ad, which page does it take you to? It's the first, content that your customers
Yeah,
sees.
I'm glad you said that, because when I first started working here, that was really confusing, because I was like, why wouldn't you just use your homepage? But then if you think about, maybe you have different events going on, maybe targeting a certain demographic that you want to show something really personal to. If this interests you, go look up GeoFly, because that's what we do. Personalized websites.
Based off of location?
Yeah. But I just think that that's really cool. The different ways that you can give people what they want in an ad.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, I think of all the times where I'm, maybe you're trying to find a specific event, or for me, it's the menu for many restaurants.
Oh, yes.
Like, if I type in, like, a name of a restaurant and I see menu, like, I don't want to be taken to the homepage, to be honest. So if the menu pops up first, and that's the landing page that I want to be directed to.
That's a really good example, because I hate when I can't find a menu.
Right?
Oh, my gosh, it's so frustrating. That's funny. So
yeah.
I guess maybe I'll just ask you one more question.
Okay.
I want to know when you knew that you were just gonna be a marketer. I don't know. Maybe tell me a little bit about previous work experience you've had, or kind of what led you to where you are now.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, again, my background undergrad was marketing and management. And first I wanted to go into entertainment, and then realized I didn't want to live in those big cities. And so I ended up just like sticking around in Montana and working in hospitality sales.
Nice.
And let me tell you, I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Hence why I went back to school.
That.
But
Yeah.
I had friends when I was living in Portland, Oregon, that worked for an agency out there, and they were doing all this like cool analytic work, and just their day-to-day just seemed so unique, like I was saying earlier that your day's just not the same every given day. So that really appealed to me. And the more I talked to my friends in the industry and based off of what I had learned, I was like, this would be a really interesting career. And that kind of like led me down the path to be like, all right, maybe I'll explore analytics, this master's degree, and then use that in a career in digital marketing. So yeah, I don't know.
So
it's cool.
If you go back to like high school, why did you decide to study marketing and management?
Let's see.
I mean, if you don't know, the University of Montana, right?
Yeah.
Your undergrad here
Both.
is like the business school is really big. It's like the second biggest behind liberal arts, which liberal arts school is like obviously going to be huge in a liberal arts college. But the business school is really well known, has the newest building on campus, I think, all of these things. So I think a lot of people end up there even if they didn't mean to. But how do you feel about your experience?
I loved it. I mean, I come from Spokane, Washington, which is not too far away, but I just remember in high school, like my dad had friends out here, and we would go snowmobiling and come out in the summer times and go fishing, and I was like, this is it. Like, this is where I want to be.
That's cool.
So as far as a career, I didn't really know what I was doing out of high school. I was going to be a communications major. And then quickly changed once I realized you don't make a lot of money doing that. Yeah,
it could be hard.
Yeah.
So then you just kind of landed in the business school and...
Yeah, and then I was like, marketing would be cool. Again, I had the entertainment management program was appealing.
Oh, yeah.
Passion of mine is concerts, going to shows,
totally.
festivals,
you were just telling me about all the concerts you have tickets to. I'm like, jealous.
Yes,
awesome.
And I try to go to music festival every year, a new one. So
nice.
It's definitely a passion of mine. So I think when I first started looking into marketing, I was like, well, how can I maybe try to make a career out of a passion? And then from there, it just turns out I just really enjoyed the work for marketing
itself. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. I like talking to you because it's fun to listen to the different like passions and stuff we have on our team. Yeah. And I think that's a real benefit to our clients and people because I mean, if they were to hire a marketing person, they would only get one of those things, right? But then if they hire an agency similar to Pintler Group, they get all these people for like the same, same type of work. So I think that's pretty sweet. I don't know, Michelle, anything else? Any other nuggets of wisdom you want to give our audience?
I don't know if we can call it wisdom, but no, I think I'm good.
Michelle and I share an office, and we should probably just have these mics on all day. We just,
just back and forth.
We sneeze a lot for some reason.
Surprised I haven't sneezed yet.
Yeah,
I was waiting for it.
It's the LaCroix. It'll just keep your sinuses clear.
Yeah.
And we also tell each other frustrating things about Facebook and MailChimp. So
yes.
There you go.
It's always nice to have someone to vent to about things and work through problems.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Cassie, for asking me questions.
Yeah, I'll probably have you come and answer some more questions at another time when I think of more. Okay.
I'll try to think of some too.
Bye, everyone.